Hello and welcome to Eat, Pray, and Live. Today we are talking turkey and how to have an attitude of gratitude that's not just cranberried into one day of the year.
Oh, nice.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, pork, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, rat.
I like kind of hate this. Like this is like.
But you gotta make the ugly
It's
church
so
face.
funny, but it's like.
Let me see your ugly church face.
Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes,
Hey, why is anything I can like do this dance to? Like
tomatoes, beans, greens,
that's so
potatoes,
good.
beans, greens, potatoes, beans, greens, potatoes.
Somebody's supposed to run around the church and everything.
That is so
In the world
good.
did this song come from?
Seriously.
Where do all songs come from?
So
1 o'clock in the morning, some weed.
Gotcha. I
Like,
love
you know
it.
what? She
That is
rhyming,
so
dog. I'm
funny.
gonna put that with a beat.
She was doing that in the church, singing Hold My Mule, and somebody done found it and decided to dance to it.
That is pure comedy.
like
well,
it.
you know what? It's our Thanksgiving show.
Yes.
And let's just, you know how we do. Wait a minute, wait for it. Uh-oh, it's taking longer than usual. Wait.
Woo!
There it
'Cause
is.
usually it
That's
just
a
be flying
beautiful,
off.
that's a beautiful sound. Happy Thanksgiving!
Happy Thanksgiving.
Woo!
Oh, all the lushes in the house.
Hey. Wow.
We love it.
In unison.
Oh my God. Okay. So how you living?
I'm living pretty beautifully. How are you?
I'm good. How was your week and what's going on? What are our Thanksgiving plans? What is happening for tomorrow?
Oh, y'all.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
I'm all over the place. I'm party hopping, dinner
Yeah.
hopping, or whatever you call it on
Right,
Thanksgiving.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So, and I don't have to cook nothing.
Yep.
Nothing. You don't have to make a contribution.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, that's
I'm not gonna go into my complaints.
Sound right.
Because SoCal Gas and I have a situation that we are not friends right now, so I don't actually have a working oven right now, and I'm very upset about it. So what I normally do when I'm, visiting people's homes is I always bring a dessert and I make it, and it's usually for this time of year it's usually peach cobbler or it's
You make a
sweet
peach
potato
cobbler?
pie. Yes, I do.
All right.
But this year it ain't gonna be none of that because SoCal Gas told me it's gonna take them 25 days to come to my house. But anyway.
Oh my
Girl,
God.
you better go
I called them November 7th, y'all, and they ain't coming
25
until November
days.
That's a
30th.
mess.
But we ain't talking about that because I'm thankful that I have a house for the SoCal Gas to come to.
Listen,
I'm
you
like,
better go to Walmart
I'm gonna go
get you a patty.
I'm gonna go get a bottle of something and bring it to
There you
everybody's
go.
house.
Right,
Bottles are good. Bottles are good. We like bottles.
I gotta go do that tonight.
Don't nobody refuse a bottle. Well, yeah, I got some cupcakes. Oh my God. Well, we had tons of birthdays.
Seriously.
Birthdays.
Happy birthday, Sheree.
Thank
We
you,
have a little cake going on. I'm trying to get you in the camera.
Nice.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Happy birthday. Yes.
Stacy brought me that. That's so kind.
Oh my God, you are so kind.
Stacey, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
We like stopped.
I know we
recording.
stopped because I went off about SoCal.
But that was a really good story. I'm probably gonna hop around as well. I have a really good friend that actually they just got married, so I'm super excited to spend Thanksgiving with them. And they just got married a week ago, so I'm like, oh my God,
that's sweet.
So I'm like, I can't believe you came back from your wedding. You're gonna throw up. That's crazy. So they're amazing. I'm gonna spend it with them, and then probably hop up around to a couple of friends, probably some friends from BHL, Jesse, and some other people. So
Lovely.
I'm excited, and also not cooking one thing.
Who's the
So,
best cook? Who's the best cook at BHL?
I mean, on this panel.
Well, no. I'm just
'Cause I'm
saying.
like
'cause
you.
But
No,
other than me, like,
I'm a
where are
better
you
cook than
going?
Sheree.
At BH.
Oh, who?
I mean,
Who's cooking at Jesse?
I'm on
What's in that
Discover who's
What's in that
good.
I'm about to discover something.
I'm about to
today, too.
discover who's
Yeah, I don't
good.
actually know.
Because I've never eaten anybody's food. Well, Jesse cooks pretty well.
Jesse
I mean,
cooks?
he cooks random stuff. Like, I went over there one time and he had some raisins and some rice. Like, I don't remember what he made, and I wasn't going to eat it, but it was good. Like, it was crazy, but he's good at putting random stuff together.
Yeah.
We don't want random on Thanksgiving.
Well, not on Thanksgiving, but his roommate is a chef.
So it's done.
he's been excited to like throw down. So I've been excited.
Is he gonna cook the like
He's gonna cook like
the traditional?
the traditional stuff.
Do you think the traditional stuff is like boring now?
No,
it's
but
I
staples. You have to.
we don't eat that stuff all. I don't eat that stuff
You
all the
want-
time,
you don't.
so I don't get bored with it.
You want the favorites when it's
If I ain't no mac and cheese, I ain't coming.
Now, you
Right.
can always be innovative, but it has to be in addition to
Right.
The regular.
the classics.
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
staples.
So what are you doing, Sheree? You
I'm
cooking?
cooking my tail off.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
nice.
I started-
I forgot about that house.
Child, I started. You know, y'all are always working. I started today. I made the cornbread for my cornbread dressing. My greens are on the stove as we speak. And what else did I do today? My cranberry sauce. And I seasoned my turkey. And I don't brine my turkey. So a lot of people get into the brining, but I find that my turkey.
I don't really like
juicy.
turkey. I don't.
I love turkey.
I actually realized how much I don't care about turkey.
No,
Like,
I will do like
Ham.
Cornish hens or duck or something like that. I
Well,
don't
that's
like
why,
turkey.
like turkey. Once you
duck.
put the good gravy on top of
yeah,
it,
it's
and-
got, it needs some
No,
stuff.
I don't eat gravy.
It is really the perfect. It's the perfect meat to go along with all those rich sides, you know, because it's pretty straight laced,
it's
pretty
really-
plain,
yeah, it's plain.
mild,
Yeah.
so it's perfect. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
I'm really trying to wrap my head around something that's
What?
happened in the last few
Oh
days.
Lord,
Uh-oh.
what's happening?
Shamika.
What you nigga do?
Uh-oh.
Shamika, well, first off, okay, this is what happened.
She also had a birthday.
She did have a birthday. It was
Yes.
a nice, it was a nice party, a '90s thing. That was cool, even though I was late.
Yeah, you
So-
were. Because I stayed a minute and you
So
ate.
I get a call like, hey, from Tasha saying, hey, look, I got this pie.
Who's Tasha?
You know who the hell Tasha is. I got this call from Tasha.
Our viewers don't know.
Tasha called and said, look, I got this pie from Shamika. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I was like, she's like, no, it's $25. I was like, it's $25 for a what? She's like, for a sweet potato pie. So my Thanksgiving is going to be built around this pie that cannot live up to my expectations.
I think Shamika's a good cook, so I think the pie is gonna be good. It is a little pricey.
There is no way it can be that
However-
good. You want to know why?
But there's delivery involved in
No,
that pie.
no.
She's gonna drop it off at your door.
And then when I told Sheree's like, oh,
From
she
Riverside.
dropping it off? Then it should be $35. Let me explain something to y'all.
I mean, I was
Drop
saying
off a pie.
LA, $50 is
no,
for a pie.
no. $50?
For a homemade pie, and I'm dropping it to your house.
dropping it
Did you
off.
see the 4 or 5 yesterday?
I know.
You can get a blowjob for $50.
Oh, wow.
How did
So-
we, how?
Wow, I'm just saying, we're talking about pie, okay?
So
And the
look,
picture is of a family. Like
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So look, I'm already halfway to one with this
Wait a
pie.
minute, we got a picture of a family praying. How you talking about
blowjob.
blowjob?
Because y'all said $50 is acceptable.
heathen.
And so
We got a heathen
Shamika,
in
she
the house.
delivered the pie.
She did.
She delivered it.
Did you try it?
No.
What does it look like? What does it
Is
smell
it
like?
pretty? Is
No matter how it
big?
looks, unless it comes with something else, and I knew Shamika was not delivering blowjobs with the pie, it's not gonna make it.
Jesus.
So I'll let y'all know next week.
I can't.
I'll let y'all know next week.
Can we talk about Bob Johnson and Trump,
Okay,
please?
let me go to Bob Johnson.
I can't with him.
So look, this is what happened, y'all.
Dang.
So Bob Johnson met with Donald Trump Monday and left the meeting feeling encouraged and suggested that African Americans should give Donald Trump a chance and we should find common ground with him. And he was encouraged that if some of these issues were, some of his plans were implemented, that it could help the community. If some was,
Yes.
yeah. And he also stated what some members of the Black Caucus has stated in the past, that Black people should not be locked in to a particular party, but we should have permanent issues.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or interests.
Interest, rather.
Interests, yeah.
So it transcends people. It's
Yes.
you know, it's about the interest. So
Bob Johnson rich though, right?
yeah, he's really rich. So what's why?
Well, I introduced the segment, so I don't feel it's fair for me to introduce and then poison the well.
You don't have to poison.
Poison
I
the
do
well.
want to know your thoughts, though.
I think I respect what some of what Bob Johnson did with BET. I was always a hip hop head and preferred the videos that couldn't get play other places like BET After Dark. I liked BET After Dark and all that. It was fun. It was cool. That said, I don't think Bob Johnson knows what he's talking about. Donald Trump is not the person for which we should say, you know what, yeah, we need permanent issues. Let's work with this man. No.
What's the alternative?
Yeah,
He's
that's
going to
the
be
thing.
our president.
President.
What's the
It
alternative?
doesn't matter that you say, guys, we should really. It doesn't matter. You're already president. So like, we could decide we like you. We could decide we don't like you. Do you really care what we think?
Well, I think that.
Thank you, Stacey.
I mean,
You don't. You can't. Like, it doesn't.
But
You're
I
gonna
think
do what.
he's speaking to the idea, because a lot of people are like, I'm moving, I ain't doing nothing, I'm gonna sit here in a hole, I ain't gonna. The point is that all this happened because we sit on our hands for 4 years and then expect everything to be changed and altered and amazing in an election for president. And there's a lot of other stuff in between time that could still be happening. There's a lot of other things you could be doing along the way to make that final election actually be more reflective of what we say we believe in, if that's the case, and then Trump's situation wouldn't have happened. But he made a comment, Bob Johnson, in his statement. He said something about like Trump fiscal policy, like he's operating from a place of fiscal policy that he thinks will help, overall like expand into the country in other ways. And all I can think is, we've always operated from a place of getting our fiscal policy in a great place, because that's how capitalism works in this country, and how people have gotten wealthy and people are able to make it and do great things. But the problem is that policy has never met up with our social and moral expectations. So those people that get left behind keep getting left behind. And just because he fixed us fiscally doesn't mean it's going to change anything socially. It's the same thing we've always done.
And my thing with this is like I think that people don't understand how Donald Trump operates. He wants to bring some black people in to make himself look good. He's not going to do anything that they say. You have a meeting with...
How do we know that?
Because this is what he does each time.
Yeah, Dan Carson about to be the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development.
I don't think I don't know. I mean, he's just
a
bringing
hustler.
a black man.
I think he's a tactic person who used, a lot of isms to get what he wanted. But sometimes I think, and I look at him, I'm like, he probably isn't as insane as he
It
thinks.
does
I tried to
I don't
believe
think
that
he
until he
is.
appointed his chief strategist,
This
Steve
is
Bannon.
the hustle that he employs.
But it
He will
just
bring
seems
you
really
in. He's
weird.
like a guy, to put it in a context that some people could get. A guy or girl, whoever that you're dating, you have a conversation with him about the relationship and how it's going to go. You come home and he's in the bed with someone else. And you say, no, you know what? I'm going to forgive you. And he's going to say the right things. And you do it over and over again. If you want to reach out to the Republican Party, go reach out to Mitch McConnell. Go reach out to the Speaker of the House Ryan. Reach out to the people who actually matter, who may actually possibly do something. Don't reach out to Donald Trump. This dude is still courting races. He's still not disavowing people who stand up and say, we support.
He disavowed them in the New York Times interview. The guys that just, what's his name, that just had the meeting with the alt-right. And the video that's going around with them.
His strategist?
Not his strategist. He wasn't there, but it was the guy that runs that group that the Breitbart News supports, had their conference in D.C. a few days ago. And all those videos that are running around with them saying, hail Trump. And exactly.
Lord have mercy.
No, so.
I think it's a really interesting time.
But to answer your question, Stacey, about what you do, people act like because Donald Trump is the president, it's like, well, we got to accept him. We have to do this. No, it's like, no, y'all can protest for 4 years. Every time you see him, you can protest and still go out and do your best work.
What would be the point of that?
I mean, everyone has the right to free speech. Everybody has the right to express themselves.
She's asking
what's the
actual point?
Yeah, I would imagine you have an objective, you having a goal.
Right.
What is the point?
The point is to continue to show that you do not accept whatever this man is preaching, him as president, and you may think like, oh, that means nothing. Actually, it does. Because when you go out into the world to negotiate, when you talk to people, even within the country, and you don't have a mandate in the majority of the people behind you, people feel emboldened to resist the allure of the president and say, no, I'm going to say no to you on that because you don't have all of the people behind you.
So the people shouldn't concede.
No, not if they don't want to. You don't have to say like, yeah, he's the president, so I have to get behind his agenda. First, you need to ask, what is his agenda? You don't necessarily want him to succeed depending on what it is.
Not that you have to agree with everything, but I kind of think it's pointless. we have a limited amount of energy. We really do. So I would say spend it wisely.
Some of us do,
what
but
would
some
be-
of us, that's their calling, though, Bree.
What's their calling?
Their
To do
calling
what?
is to get in the street. Their calling is to hold up a sign. Their calling is to do a Facebook post about Donald Trump every single day. That's not your ministry, but that's theirs.
Yeah,
And I don't tell them to stop. I'm like, do your thing.
Right.
Because I've been that person, so I understand.
I don't tell them to stop, but I would rather or think it would be
let's
more
redirect
effective.
that passion.
If they're protesting your appointment of Steve Bannon, okay, I find the
But that's what they're
reason.
doing,
That's what
though.
I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Like, not just saying, oh, we hate Trump. Oh, because a lot of people are just
Right.
like, I hate Trump, and they don't really know other than what he's been spouting off out of the side of his neck, what's going on.
Why is that not enough?
Well, it's not enough because now he's actually making decisions. So we need to be very specific about decisions that he's making that we don't appreciate and we don't
Right,
accept.
right,
Like
right.
when they come to those Senate hearings, we should be calling right now before the Attorney General is accepted by the
okay,
Senate.
let me
Like,
ask you this,
yo,
though.
we do not want this guy to
I'm
be
gonna
the
pull
Attorney
this
General.
back, y'all.
I do have one last
'Cause this
question.
is-
One last
this
question.
is our
though.
Thanksgiving
But the same
show.
people who vote on the proposals that Donald Trump will actually put forth to Congress, they do see these people protesting. So,
Yeah, they see them, but
And they do some-
They
just
got
like that
super
article came out last week. There was a girl that worked with the White House something, whatever. She was
You
saying
guys
like,
got super political.
That's a spin-off.
Sorry.
Which is not a problem.
They got a spin-off.
All right,
I'm just
fine.
saying the most effective thing you can do is actually talk to your local representatives that are also and your state representatives, so the ones that are actually in Congress right now. To me, I think that's the most effective.
Getting
thing you
them
can do.
streets.
Get them on the phone.
them straight.
Talk to them.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, let me do let's get into our main segment. Our topic today is about it's Thanksgiving, which is tomorrow, and we're going to talk Thanksgiving and gratitude. So we know tomorrow's Thanksgiving. What does the Thanksgiving holiday actually mean to you? We all know it's a national holiday where we come together with loved ones to watch football, give thanks, and share and indulge in these high-calorie, amazing meals. I can't wait. Thanksgiving is truly my favorite meal of the year.
I thought Sizzler was.
Of the year.
Oh, okay.
Of the year. I go to Sizzler more than once a year. But have we lost the essence and spirit of this holy day by primarily being over-concerned with what's on the menu? Let's give real consideration to what we are celebrating and honoring so that when the leftovers are neatly tucked away in the fridge and we're making our list and checking it twice, in between bites of sweet potato pie, of course, while preparing for the biggest shopping day of
Right.
the year, of course, our Black Friday, that we don't lose sight of what it truly means to give thanks and to be grateful. Amen?
Amen.
That sounds like amen.
Amen.
I was gonna say the holy.
Well, holiday.
I understand.
No, but holiday.
But when you it just makes me a little uncomfortable because
there is some problematic.
Because in the spirit of it, or in the current spirit of, but what Thanksgiving was not holy.
It wasn't.
was
No, it
not
wasn't. And that's the
holy.
thing. There's a weird problem. It's not weird. There's a problematic, tone to Thanksgiving. But it's just like, there's some people see a problematic tone to Christmas and this and that. But it gets really covered by commercialism and, what that looks like. And so I think we do forget that it wasn't the best holiday in the world. But I think for me, I don't know too much, and I want to do more research on really like the full backstory before I say too much. But I think because of the way I was raised, and I think we've talked about this a little bit in terms of like Christianity or whatever, you kind of just see it as that day we all give thanks and it's about the Lord and blah, blah, blah. But I think what Courtney's about to allude to is
But
there's
see,
way more to it
Courtney
than...
doesn't agree with it's about the Lord.
I don't,
No,
because it was not established
No.
as anything to do with the Lord.
But that's what I'm saying, like, I think there's-
I understand that we have decided to set aside what it was, and many of us
Yeah.
just look at it as a time to be thankful, which
Right.
is of God and of what we want to sort of be in our faith. But that's not what it, and it's hard, and it's really funny right now, and ironic that it's Thanksgiving, and we just were blowing Native Americans with freaking water torches in South Dakota 2 days ago, and killing them because they don't want a pipeline coming through their burial grounds. Like, we gotta effed up.
Nobody died, though, right? Anybody died?
I mean, has anybody died? I don't think anybody's died. They've been arrested. They were definitely been sent to the hospital.
Well, what does Thanksgiving mean to you?
I mean, I've decided that it's a time, in general, the end of the year for me, it's a time of thankfulness and reflection in general. So I've chosen to make that the case. And obviously, I still eat and, enjoy the holiday. But I do have those moments that I'm like,
this isn't really what
this
it's
ain't right, y'all. Like,
yeah,
something ain't right about it. Don't.
Yes,
I agree.
I'm fine with celebrating it and with the understanding that it's changed and we acknowledge the history of Thanksgiving, of Native Americans.
Who?
We have to acknowledge it, though.
I was like, who acknowledges
Because
it?
even within this discussion, this is the thing, we're talking about it, so we're acknowledging it. And I at some point will have a discussion every Thanksgiving with someone
somebody.
like this, where there was a time where it's like, I never heard this type of discussion. I probably didn't hear this until maybe I was like 13, where I was like, there's a problem with Thanksgiving. So I think we acknowledge that, and then it means something special to you.
What's the problem
What's the problem with what?
with Thanksgiving?
Well, I think if you start a holiday that's based on was it based on the first meeting
or
the
when basically
first festival?
the invaders came over and couldn't survive and needed the help of the natives to sort of basically survive.
took their help and decimated them,
decimated
and you
their
have a
entire
holiday
culture, and you have a holiday to celebrate that.
celebrate that.
Even though it's like we're celebrating that they helped us. But then to know that what followed, like it just, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I get that it's just about like we help them survive.
What my understanding is, the first Thanksgiving, which took place in the 1400s, and you're talking about the Pilgrims.
Wasn't it like 16?
Well, the first one took place in the 1400s.
Okay.
Where the Pilgrim. I did my little research, y'all. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
All right, Google Master, come on.
When the Pilgrims invited the Native Americans to share a meal, then 200 years later, in 1621, became more of a holiday, right? And the Pilgrims were actually celebrating their first successful harvest. Everything was dying. They prayed for rain. They actually went into a prayer vigil, prayed, they said, from sunrise to sunset, and it started to rain. So that was a time where they carved out to give gratitude and thanks to God. So holiday is, and that's why I said holy day, because that's really what holiday is. Holiday means holy day, and we get holiday from holy day.
Okay, yeah.
Not that it's, I'm saying, but that's where it comes from.
Look, I feel you. Okay, all right.
So
what it means to me
is
basically, I get together with family and friends, people that I like, and and give thanks. Sometimes we have debates and arguments and about what's going on in the world. But lately, I've just been getting pizza and Chinese food and just staying at the crib.
I'm super confused with what just happened. You switched on me like.
That's what's been going on, and I've been quite happy with that. So.
Bring it back.
I like that for Christmas.
It's funny.
Actually.
There's so much division here when it comes to y'all. Kind of seem resistant.
Well, no, I agree with what they're saying. I just know that I'm not well knowledgeable about it, so I'm not saying too much because I still want to learn. I actually just had a conversation with a friend a couple days ago, and he was like, it's really funny how problematic Thanksgiving is. And I was like, I should be Googling that tonight.
But
so I already know that I'm not.
Like Courtney said, though, it's because of the whole history between Europeans
of course.
and the invaders.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I should have called them the illegals.
There's so many different distractions when it comes to, these holidays. I mean, I barely figured out what Groundhog Day means, like, this year. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm still trying to figure out what that means, because everything is taught to you in such a different way. We have school, there's turkeys everywhere, there's cutouts. I mean, that does not give you what Courtney just gave us. It's just not going to do it.
And you know what? I don't think it's where you start. I think it's where you end. So I'm going to choose to take tomorrow and really give thanks and honor to God for the many blessings that I have in my life. It really is a day for me, a day of celebration, a day of, I'm reflecting on, my loved ones. My mom is gone, my grandmother is gone, my grandfather, the very people that I was out here with that we spent so many amazing Thanksgivings together. So that's what it's going to be. It's very sacred for me.
I can't even lie. No one can be
Yeah.
mad at you for that. That's
sure.
perfectly fine. If no one ever wants to acknowledge it, but they say that's what they want to do with the holiday, the hell am I going to be mad for? It sounds like you want to do something good. So
Yeah.
have at it.
But I have a question. If we, because I always like sort of toy with the like idea. So that's a special day, and that's what you choose to do on that special day for you. But are we sort of sanctioning and ignoring inappropriately all the other stuff because we've decided to rename it for ourselves, and then we're sort of taking it? I don't know what I'm trying to express. Because you could do that day not on Thanksgiving as America, because you don't, if you say you don't, like if I'm one of those people that doesn't support what Thanksgiving actually is, then I would make my sacred day something else, because in participating, are we not, even if we've redefined it in our own minds, are we not just putting our stamp of approval and acceptance on what it is?
I don't think
I
we're
don't
doing.
think
I don't
so.
think we're doing it intentional
I don't
by
think
any
so.
means.
Yes,
because
but it's passive.
But I think we're a little passive. I think it's okay to say that, because if it was opposite, let's say somebody decided they don't want to celebrate Black History Month because, well, I decided to rename it to like I'm the bomb and I'm white. Like, I mean, if they did something, if anyone else took something that means this and turned it into something that applies to them, we would think the same way. You know what I mean? And if I'm on the opposite of that,
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying I understand where you're
because I
coming
wonder, like, because that's the same. It's sort of the same argument that Southerners use with like celebrating Confederate things. Like, it's a part of like in their definition and story. That's their personal history and their family and their love and all of that. But if we, as a unit, as a country, accept that as some, we're also stamping.
No, I feel you. I feel
know
you
what
on
I'm
that.
saying? Like,
We
is
don't
it-
know. I think when, like I said, what happened in the 1600s, it was in honor of and giving thanks to God. I think that was the original intent.
But
That was the original
and see,
intent.
I'm with Sheree on that, but then I say you acknowledge it and you move on. Now, in regards to Southerners and Confederate holidays, I think they're lying. I've always thought they're lying. I was like, no, I know what you're celebrating. I'm not gonna pretend like you aren't. I know exactly what you're celebrating.
Right.
So I think there's a difference, but I think you can take something like Thanksgiving, acknowledge it, and say, okay, I'm gonna move on, or not celebrate it at all. Whatever you want to do.
You know, Courtney, there's you're my militant me for a reason. I mean,
You do look rather Black
is kinda-
Panther-esque today.
Yeah, you do.
You down. You want to go protest right now. You ain't feeling that. Look at you.
She got a sign
No,
in her
I just
bag.
want to eat that cupcake right there.
Oh, come on, let's participate.
Girl, which cupcake are
Look
you
at it.
feeling? Because I'm like staring at
But
these.
you know what
finish
I
your thought,
think?
yeah.
Romans 8:28 says, and I stand on this. This is how I live my life. Thanksgiving for me is not just a day where I'm
Yes.
thankful. I really practice gratitude. And there is a difference between thanksgiving and gratitude. Thanksgiving is
sure.
something I'm going to give thanks. Gratitude is really where I live. You know, in Romans 8:28 says all things work together for the good of those that love the Lord. And I really believe that. I believe that in the midst of any time you get people involved, people gonna jack up stuff because the heart of men is bad. You know what I mean? Like the heart, the heart is bad. The heart is corrupt. There's greed. There's there's all kind of negative things that spring out of that. So I choose to trust God, and it goes back to the whole Trump thing. I have a problem with Christians walking around all nervous and mad and upset. Like, it is, I'm serious, I do. Where's your
It is
faith?
what it is.
But see, this is the
Where's
thing.
your- where's your faith?
That's an interesting conversation.
No, where's your faith? And let me tell you this, and I told you this the other day.
You did. And
God is doing, this is what I really do believe. I believe God is doing something so profound in this season, and you have to expose. You can't defeat the devil that you don't see and that you don't know.
You
He's
did that.
That's a great
exposing that
point.
stuff. He is
Beautiful.
bringing all the races, all the
isms.
negative, all the isms are coming to the surface, and there's no shame in their game, and they are letting us know who they are.
Which is good.
And now it's up for the
this
power
is the
of
thing,
love
though.
to
This is where you and I disagree, because I think that anyone should live in a space of, it's fine to be spiritual, it's fine to be a Christian, Muslim, whatever you are, and believe and have faith, but you can't not acknowledge the reality that you see around you. And I think they should be a little nervous.
But that's not what faith is doing. Faith doesn't ignore. Faith is not blind. Faith is not blind.
I think that's what you're asking, though. They're just telling you, I'm a little nervous.
No. I'm not saying it's. But I'm saying people are walking around
Like they're operating in that.
worried.
They're operating in that. Like it's over.
Like it's over.
Yeah.
It's done. Heck no.
It's like-
isn't your God bigger than all of this?
But see, this is the thing. This is the nature of people. There are 5 stages of grief for a reason. They gotta go. You gotta work through it. You gotta let them work through it. Damn, it just happened this month.
I don't care. You can't be walking around defeated.
Yeah,
You just can't. You can't be
It'd
walking
be hard, man.
I'm telling you, you can't be walking around defeated talking about you have faith.
I get
and
what
you
you're
believe
saying.
God.
I get what
You
you're saying.
can't.
I get what you're saying because I think that the last time I felt the defeated mode was Philando Castillo's passing.
Yeah.
That was the most. That was one of those moments. It's like I'm so Christian, I have faith, but I hate everything, and everything sucks, and everyone sucks, and this is so confusing. And that was a defeated week. I mean,
Yeah.
roommates had to really be like, "But you're," I'm like, "But not this week. I couldn't." So it didn't affect me as much. I mean, Trump. That was a whole other situation, but I remember that was that last time that I had all those thoughts. Like, we can't.
And
we
being
have to operate in
disappointed
faith.
Yes.
is different than being
Absolutely.
defeated.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Totally
agree.
different.
Definitely.
Boom! I want to drop something on your ass. I just do.
But they were defeated. It happened.
They're not defeated, but
If you want to look at it,
It's
they
okay
both-
to acknowledge they lost.
No, but
We
that's
lost.
Not,
That's okay.
Not what I'm
That's what
saying.
happened.
I'm talking about an attitude of defeat.
You and see, this is my
Carrying
thing.
that. No, it's.
I feel like they do. Sometimes some people have to go through certain things in order to bounce back. They have to feel this emotion. Some people have to feel defeated, straight up beat down, like I'm at
That's
the
the
bottom.
low.
That's how they have to feel in order to come
Kick
back
themselves
up.
back
And
up.
if they don't, they just walk
No.
around like everything's fine, Hakuna Matata.
No. You can acknowledge that everything is not fine. You can acknowledge that you are in a bad season. You might be broken, but
Oh,
you.
shit.
And he
This a
got water.
non-drinker. This a non-drinker spilling stuff. See, God don't like ugly. God don't like ugly.
hilarious.
How you know that wasn't the devil? See that? Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
That's what
That was the devil trying to interrupt your amazing, Jesus-loving
Right.
portion
We
of
don't
the
know
conversation.
what just happened.
God is-
That is hilarious.
God is good,
It's all right.
and God is in.
God is
he
so
is still
good.
in control. And I'm not saying you don't feel things. I don't believe in faking the funk. I don't believe in walking around. You know what I mean? I think that's a big part of can be our problem. And I know with me personally, dealing with things and sweeping things under the rug, and I always say what you don't deal with will eventually deal with you. You got to deal with your stuff. You got to face your issues and face your stuff. Yeah, you can be you can be disappointed. You can feel defeated, but you got to know that you are not defeated. You got to know that.
Wait, that's true. That's very true. Unless I defeat you, you're defeated.
Oh my Lord.
It's weird how he just switched that up. Like I was like, what?
But you know
Then you're
what? Look,
defeated.
Where you going? Oh,
why do we
Because I
only
do
have
not F around.
Why do we only have 11 minutes left?
Okay.
So
Time
we're
flies.
talking about gratitude and whatnot, and I think a part of gratitude is using your platform wisely.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Kanye West, your boy. What's going on with your boy? What's going on with your boy?
There are a number of
Looks at
things
your
that I
boy.
suspect are
number
going
of
on with
things.
Kanye. I want to wait. I need about 2 weeks
Yes.
before I say anything
your boy.
too wrong. But let me say this.
Do you think he's crazy?
That is
Do I think he?
Direct.
I think there are 3 possibilities. I think Kanye really could have a mental illness. That's possible, or Kanye could have checked himself. And I'm not saying
Yes.
this. He could have checked himself into the hospital after saying that, oh, if I voted, I would have voted for Trump, and that went more disastrous than he thought it would go.
To get so he did that to get out of this thing.
Because
He
it did make
realized,
people like
let
me who, when
backpedal.
I heard that, I was like, I'm not fucking with you no more. I'm not buying no. Because I was this close to getting some Yeezy stuff because I'm a fashion dude. I was like, man, this black dude is out here. He's trying to do it. You know you need to buy something. I was like, yeah. But I was like, I wish I would buy. But, and then there's the third
You
possibility.
think he's crazy, Courtney?
One more. There's a third possibility that he checked himself into for insurance purposes so he could get the $30 million because he couldn't perform because he was sick. So those are the three possibilities. So we'll see.
I don't think the boy's crazy. I think he's a spoiled brat, and I think he's ungrateful.
Ooh.
I think he's in a lot of pain. I think he's in.
yeah.
I think he's in so much pain, and I think
Who is not in pain?
I think he is. I mean, I don't know what it's like to lose a mom, but
I do.
I know. But some people have a different recovery process. We have talked about that. You know, some people got to go through 5 stages. Some people, and so I look at him. I'm telling you, like, there's certain people. I'm like, you're in pain.
He was a little off before.
He was off before. But that's why I mean,
But we don't know. We don't know where the pain started. It could have started before his mom
that boy
passed.
ain't crazy.
I know doctor, but he could easily be manic. Like he kind of is always been.
But I don't. Does that make you crazy?
It's not about crazy.
Crazy's
Like, clinically, it means that there is an imbalance that maybe was not being properly medicated, or that the situation between your wife being robbed and as much as we don't necessarily care about
it's
him,
manic.
like
It sounds very crazy.
Not crazy.
Manic depressive is up and down, and he's always been that way.
There are people crazy
like maniac
that go to the church picnic and think they swallow forks in cups.
I don't think Kanye.
I don't think it's that kind of.
No, but I'm saying we use crazy loosely. That boy ain't crazy.
But crazy can also be very dismissive when
crazy
something
is absolutely
really going on.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Because I think he's a spoiled brat. He does things that we're like, that's crazy. Like that's so highly emotional and just unacceptable. That's crazy. But that boy ain't crazy. He might have some type of imbalance. He ain't crazy.
You definitely could be right.
I think he's fallen into his own hype. I really do. He believes his own hype.
I wonder if he like internalizes that hype for real sometimes. Like sometimes because I mean, you're fabulous. You're fabulous. You're fabulous. Do you internalize that? Yeah, like
no, I definitely don't. I'm
like,
wake up in the morning.
Like do you? Oh, I'm everything. I'm this. I'm that. I wonder, like, because I wonder if, like, even Beyonce. You know, I'm dope. Sure. Yay. I'm confident. Do you internalize your hype though? That's a whole nother thing. If he internalizes, I'm Jesus. I think I'm Jesus. That's like another thing.
You go to, I think he kind of went too far
But
with
isn't
it.
he permanently insecure? And like that's his way of maintaining what he needs to maintain to be on that stage all the time. Like, cause he doesn't seem like, cause he expressed even in his music beforehand that he had his insecurities, but I'm gonna talk myself out of this. Like that sort of was the platform that he came from to begin with, even with his first album. So like maybe he is permanently insecure and is constantly having to maintain that mental place that keeps him where he is, and it's just too much work.
Usually people that are arrogant are really insecure. That's kind of the root of it.
Like he's like a narcissist or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know. But I
have
don't
to think
the
about
boy
this.
is crazy.
I gotta think about this over the next few weeks.
And see, this is what we're talking about: gratitude,
PTSD,
using your platform responsibly and wisely. And I don't think he's doing that. And to me, it goes back to not being grateful. You have all those fans, people that have poured into you, that have supported you. I don't really think he feels like
that's assuming that you're correct in your diagnosis that he is not insane or manic or has a mental
I'm speaking
illness.
You're right. I'm speaking from
place.
that
And I just want people to remember that. That's where she's coming from.
All I can do is give my opinion. I don't know.
But I want them to know the context of it.
I'm not a doctor at UCLA. I have not diagnosed him, given him a psychiatric evaluation. I don't know if the boy. I don't think he is crazy.
But see, this is the thing. Even if he is, I have to ask myself.
He's just not handling his celebrity.
Is he
responsible?
Let's say he is. I still have to ask myself: is he too reckless for me to continue to support? Because for me, coming out saying I would have voted for Trump, like Talib Kweli said, when you do that, you legitimize Donald Trump, and we don't need you to do that in this climate because that's what Donald Trump is seeking from a lot of his detractors.
But he does whatever he wants to do.
But
You know,
Yeah, I don't
it's
even
like
think he
there's no-
thought how much that would affect
There's no
people. Do you think?
accountability. There's no accountability.
Normally,
No, he's like I feel like he's sort of like, yeah, I said it. Just like even when he had his
No.
rant and dropped the mic, he was like, the press, go ahead, go crazy with this. I know what you're gonna do, like, but I'm
that's
gonna say
not-
this anyway.
That's not what I mean by accountability. I'm
do you
talking
mean?
about having people in your life that can hold you accountable. People in your life that'll pull you back when you get too far to the left. That can say, "Wait a second."
But
You know
he
what
thought
I mean?
that was
He's
Jay-Z,
never
and
had
Jay-Z
that.
ain't his friend, and then his mama died, so he ain't really got no brother.
Lord
Jay-Z's not his friend.
No,
Jay-Z is not his friend,
No, he
y'all.
does. I think he
he's
does have
sensitive.
people. He just decides to say what he wants to say. Pretty much like
Yeah.
the president of the United States. He just decides to say what
Whatever
he
he
wants
wants.
to
And
say.
there has
What
to
are
be
his people?
consequences for that. I've had
Precisely.
friendships that you gotta
Well, now
like.
he
I
locked
still
up.
love you, but I gotta move you from my inner circle. I gotta move you out of that space
And a lot-
until you know what I mean. Because it's very destructive.
And
right
a lot
now.
of times with talent, especially with talent, they feel like, oh, I should be able to say this, and you should still support my art. You should still support my music. I don't do that shit. If you say something that I really don't like, I stop buying your shit.
Let me
That's how
ask you,
I roll.
What do
Yeah.
y'all think about what happened with the what was it? The Hamilton play.
I love it.
I think it's fantastic.
I thought it was beautiful, and I just can't believe that our president has time to tweet about stuff
he
like
did
that.
because he didn't want you to know he settled $25 million with Trump University.
Well, to be fair, Barack will weigh in on, President Barack will
Would
weigh in
he?
on some things that people would say, why is he saying it? Because he said something about Kanye being a jackass one time.
I
mean,
just feel like if somebody went after Joe Biden, he would have been like, Joe, that sucked. But I don't think he would have.
Yeah.
Don't you
Needed.
like-
Tweeted that I
that's
heard
a
your play is
whole,
you know,
underrated and
I just and
you
apologize. I just
y'all
think
should
that's
boycott Hamilton.
I think that's
agree
not the
with that.
style of Obama. So to say, like, come on, like you should.
But
to
the
me,
question, wait a minute, let's go back
Ooh,
though.
that was so beautiful.
Before we get to that though, because do you think that it was okay for that cast to single out the vice president-elect?
Absolutely.
I think it's interesting. That's how much that's where their respect level is. Because I think if it was a Joe Biden or Obama, hell no, you would never have said anything.
Because
I don't
they
think.
wouldn't have to, but read what do you
I was
think?
gonna say,
Well,
yeah.
I guess
This is
true,
the
but I'm
thing,
just saying, like, to
'cause-
me, I think that's the respect level
Well,
when they look at them.
Well, let me tell you what I
What do you
okay.
think,
I
man?
asked you. Remember, I asked you. I said, "Well, is the play is Hamilton? Is it interactive?" Because remember when Tyler Perry would do his Medea? I don't know if y'all had ever seen it back in
Right.
the day. It was amazing because he'd break that third wall,
yeah.
and he'd talk to the audience, and it was great. If this is not normally what they do, heck no, that's out of line.
But they do at curtain call speak to people in
That's
the
out of line.
audience all the time.
I
Like,
don't
it's not
think that
just
if it's
Pence.
not what they do, it's their talent. And they should use
Nope.
their talent however they see fit.
No, you're there to do a play.
No, I'm there to use my talent.
If I hire you to do a job, do your job.
But the people,
but they
the people
all
that hired them
were very supportive of it.
No, they
So the-
put the statement together. They put the statement together with
Well,
the
then I
people
can't
that
say
produced the
nothing about
play.
that.
They went and they got the approval for the cast. Like everybody knew that this
That was
statement and
happening,
that they
yeah.
were comfortable
All right.
with what was said.
And I would submit,
then
though,
it is
even
what
if
it
they
is.
didn't. And if you don't like it, fire me. That's how
Well,
I see
they
it.
can't fire you.
No.
They can. Oh yes, they can. You got understudies on Broadway. Absolutely.
Why
You
does
can
it-
fire.
why does it go
How
to
can
fire?
they fire you when the higher ups made the decision?
no, we-
No,
you
no,
just
no, no,
saying-
no. If the higher ups had a
Had
problem
not,
with
yeah.
it, if they didn't, they're like, we don't want you doing that. Fire me.
But it's less about the higher ups and more about, do we just think this is something that was uncalled for in that
No.
space?
You got
But the
a
theater
play
is
full
supposed
of
to
black
be-
folk, Latinos, Hispanics, gay people, trans people, and they got this dude out here. What they supposed to do? Let's just sing and dance for him. It's our
right,
talent.
right.
My thing is this: I get tired of people like this, like the people on the right, basically the racist right. They don't like us, but they can't wait to come see our shit. They can't wait to see us on the screen.
Or they can't
wait to
take,
see
or
us
they can't
play.
take the,
Because they want you
the
in a
comeback.
certain
No, when you come, hey, you come see me, you go hear whatever the hell I feel like singing.
But you know what?
I think that
This
might
is-
be okay because Trump says whatever the hell he wants, wherever the hell he wants.
See, that was crazy to me. How
was
can
crazy.
you tell? You say whatever. So how do you have a beef with somebody else who just said what
Because
was
Trump is
on
trying to
Into
stop y'all
That's
from
hypocritical.
bullying people. Y'all shouldn't be bullying
No,
the
that's
vice president.
Melania's job.
You're
Stop.
trying to be funny.
That is Melania's platform.
Jokes.
Stop trying to take her job.
So how does this tie into gratitude and thankfulness?
I'm gratitude and thankful that they did that to him.
They're thankful that God gave them the platform to tell someone.
What does it look like? Living a life, because the way I was trying to tie this in was the responsibility that you have. You know what I mean? Like gratitude to me is honoring, the responsibility that comes with your platform.
And I think they did that brilliantly.
But we're not talking about that. What does it mean to you to be? What does it look like? A life of gratitude. What does it look like?
What does a life of gratitude look like? Ooh, okay.
That's a really deep question.
Let's see. A life of gratitude to me looks like. Dang, how do I express this?
Life of gratitude.
What does it look like? Anybody?
You didn't give us that question beforehand.
I
did.
Yes, you did.
I was gonna.
Go ahead, because I'm gonna formulate exactly what I want to say.
I wouldn't just drop that question.
I always believe,
on
like, when Alex Haley asked Malcolm X, what should I be doing? And he told him to do your best work. I think that's always the best place to start. Do your best work, and within that, find your way to impact the greater good, or to bring about the greater good.
Right.
Always just do your best work. We all have talents. We all have skills. We all have something special. Whatever that is, do yours and just find your way.
So I'm kind of hearing you. I'm kind of hearing you say that basically connect to purpose. And no.
If I had to put it in terms that people who know me understand, I'd be like, use your superpowers for good. Don't be a superhero.
But to benefit other people.
Yes.
To benefit other people, and not just
yourself. But I have to acknowledge that being human, there's some things you want to do that are
just about you.
It's just about you. Like, sometimes you want to be a rapper because it's like, man, I like doing it, and so I'm like, go follow that passion. But within that, find something that can serve the greater good. Yeah. So
I would expand that as the greater good of people, but also your environment, respecting what we have been given, which I don't think we do enough of ever. Like, whether it's the earth, if you recycle, like whatever it is, like but also a respect for it, not just like in terms of your use of it, but just the awe of it also. Like, because the moments that you're blessed with air every day that you can actually breathe, and that in itself is a miraculous thing that you should be grateful for all the time. But being in a place that you recognize that. And stop to recognize it.
What are you grateful for, Courtney?
I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful that I'm alive. I'm grateful for this wig on my head because I don't want to do my hair today. I'm grateful for BHL that exists, that we can have these conversations. Like, it's
freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a thing on my phone every day to stop.
What about you, Stacey? What are you grateful for?
Wow. I feel like I am very, very grateful for joy right now. I talked to you about this a little bit off camera because I feel like, and a lot of us feel this, where we just know the difference between when we have to be put on. For me, I was on, but I wasn't actually joyous. I wasn't actually happy. I was just on. And then you pull away from that and you go through your I went through all 5 stages. And then you come back out and you're like, I'm good.
What shifted for you, though?
I'm telling you, I'm writing it in a book. Seriously, I gotta sit down and ask God, like, what did you do? Because I'm telling you, this was June, July.
You do?
I hit rock bottom, and then it wasn't accepted. It was more like
surrender. Did you surrender?
I surrendered. It was more like, you know what? I'm pushing towards something, and I have no idea what it is, and I have no clarity of what that is, and I'm trying to be on and figure it out by myself. So I'm going to go all the way back, which looks horrible, which looks like pajamas and no nails and really horrible hair and constant tears and a lot of phone calls. And you go all the way back, and then you just start from there. Yeah. And it was just, I'm telling you, like, August, September, October, November, it's been ridiculously joyous.
It sounds like you made a decision to trust.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a book coming, people, because I want to express it, because I'm like, what happened? Like,
what shifted?
What in the world happened? And my friends call me. They're like, my roommates. When my roommate walked into me, went into the apartment 2 months ago, and she goes, you just look different. I look the exact same, people.
Wow.
But she was like, everything about the way you're moving is exactly how I used to move when we moved in together. So she's seen everything, and that was such a thing for me. And so I'm grateful for that, because we don't always get it. Sometimes we don't identify it. Sometimes I have been living in it very purposely, I guess.
I love that.
Every single day, I'm like, I'm really happy today.
It's intentional. You
intentional.
practice gratitude intentionally. I'm going to get to you, Demetrius. I want to read something. What was the lady's name? Louise Hay? I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, but she said, being grateful. It's about being grateful. She said, the more you're grateful for the good in your life, the more good you get to be grateful for. Or grateful about. Louise L. Hay.
I like that.
Said that. So that talks about like sowing and reaping. What you put out is what you get back. And go ahead. I want to know what you're grateful for, and then I'll close it out.
Man, I don't think. What? Because I don't want to say what I was thinking. So
Because you nasty.
No, it was this joke where it's
some.
like I think it was about Kanye, where it's like, well, I want to thank God for making me. but a lot of times I feel like as a person, I have been so blessed in regards to how I am and the people that I have attracted and the people that I have let the fuck go.
Yes.
And I feel like I've been blessed with how I am and how I think, and I like that. And of course, always my mom and my very special, very close group of people around me. They know.
That's
I love it.
Wow. Well, I'm grateful that I'm healthy. I'm absolutely grateful for my health.
That's number one. Because if I'm just sick and you can't do nothing.
And I have peace. I have an abiding peace, and I have an abiding joy that really anchors me in anything that could possibly happen, And I thank God that I have, and this is intentional, like I practice this intentionally, because I think we have a proclivity to have a bend towards the negative.
Yeah.
To tend to look, it's great, really. We tend to look at the stuff that we don't have or the stuff that we want versus the stuff that we do have. I said, when I go to bed, and the thought that my son is safe and healthy and well, what else is there?
Yeah.
What do I really, so it's really not that complicated, So I'm going to choose to believe the best. I'm going to choose to focus on the good things in my life, the blessings, and not the lack. And I'm just grateful. Praise Him. I'm just grateful. And I'm grateful for these cupcakes.
Yes.
And this cake that we about to partake in. And
right, bye y'all.
Wow.
That is our show.
Happy
Thanksgiving. Thank you for joining us.
Wait. Y'all don't have a takeaway or nothing? There's no Halo Award or nothing? None of that?
Go ahead, give a Halo Award.
What the hell? I don't know who to give
I'm going to give a Halo Award. I'm going to give a Halo Award to Bonus Mom. Miss Jada. Listen, when I tell you, we put together, these men, they call middlemen for a reason. They can't do nothing. We had to remove the men. The women came together through this, my baby, who turned 24 party. We had that thing planned, mapped out in a matter of 15 minutes.
Hey.
That's it? All right. Hey, look. For y'all who need sweet potato pies, Shamika will be making more pies. I'll let y'all know next week. And hey, hit me up on Instagram, Demetrius, and let me know if I should unfollow Stacey, because she ain't followed me back in 5 days.
Bye, guys.
You just ungrateful, Demetrius.
Ungrateful.
Wait, you followed me? I'm telling you,
Wait to pull up this unfollow app on your app.
I need this.
Fine,
There is a. Are we still on?
I have no idea.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.